stains, Majjhima Nikaya 2, Sabbāsava Sutta. This video talks about all the stains in the Majjhima Nikaya 2. Sabbāsava Sutta, which is difficult to understand because it requires repeated thought and reflection. This video abbreviates the Sabbāsava Sutta for easy understanding without changing the meaning, although it still requires repeated mindfulness. The Sabbāsava Sutta relates, once the Blessed One was staying at Sāvatthī in Jeta's grove, Anāthapiṇḍika's park. There he called the bhikkhus and said much to them which, in short, would be as follows.
Bhikkhus, I say that the destruction of the taints is for one who knows and sees wise mindfulness and unwise mindfulness. When one pays attention unwisely, the taints that have not yet arisen arise and the taints that have arisen increase. When one pays attention wisely, the taints that have not yet arisen will not arise and the taints that have arisen are abandoned. Bhikkhus, there are taints to be abandoned by seeing, by controlling, by using, by holding back, by avoiding, by eliminating, and by developing. What are the taints, bhikkhus, that are to be abandoned by seeing? Here, monks, an unlearned ordinary person who has no respect for the noble ones, who has no respect for true men, who is unskilled and undisciplined in the Dhamma, he does not pay attention to things worthy of attention, and pays attention to things that are not worth noting. When he pays attention to things that are not worthy of attention, the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have not yet arisen arise in him, and the taints of sensual desire, the taints of existence, and the taints of ignorance that have arisen increase. When he attends to things worthy of attention, the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have not yet arisen do not arise in him, and the taints of sensual desire, the taints of existence, and the taints of ignorance that have arisen are abandoned. An unlearned ordinary person observes unwisely, did I exist in the past? Did I not exist in the past? Am I in the past? How was I in the past? Having become what? Then what have I become in the past? Will I exist in the future? Will I not exist in the future? What will I be in the future? How will I be in the future? Having become what? Then what will I be in the future? Or else he is confused about the present. Do I exist? Am I not there? Am I? How am I? Where did this creature come from? Where will this creature go? When he pays attention unwisely, one of 6 views arises in him. That is the view, there is a self to me, or the view, there is no self to me, or the view, I see self with self, or the view, I see not self with self, or the view, I see self with not self appears in him as true and firm, or otherwise he has some views thus. It is this me that speaks and feels and experiences here and there the results of good and bad deeds, but this me is eternal, still existing, eternal, not subject to change, and will endure forever. This speculative view, bhikkhus, is called the jungle of views, the wilderness of views, the perversion of views, the confusion of views, the fetter of views. Being fettered by the fetters of view, the unlearned ordinary person is not free from birth, aging, and death, from sorrow, lamentation, pain, sorrow, and despair. He is not free from suffering. Bhikkhus, a noble disciple who is well educated, who values noble and skillful ones, who values true men, who is skilled and disciplined in their Dhamma, understands things worthy of attention and understands things not worthy of attention. Therefore, he does not pay attention to the things that are not worthy of attention, and he pays attention to the things that are worthy of attention. When he pays attention to things that are not worthy of attention, the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have not yet arisen arise in him, and the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have arisen increase. These were things that were not worthy of attention, which he did not pay attention to. When he attends to things worthy of attention, the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have not yet arisen do not arise in him, and the taints of sensual desire, the taints of being, and the taints of ignorance that have arisen are abandoned. These were things worth paying attention to, which he paid attention to. He considers wisely, this is suffering, this is the origin of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering. This is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. When he pays attention to such wisdom, 3 fetters are abandoned in him: self-view, doubt, and attachment to rituals and ceremonies. These are called the taints to be abandoned by seeing. What taints, monks, are to be abandoned by restraint? Here a bhikkhu, contemplating wisely, abides with the eye faculty restrained, ear faculty restrained, nose faculty restrained, tongue faculty restrained, body faculty restrained, mind faculty restrained. Then no taints, disturbances, and agitations arise. The taints, disturbances, and agitations arise in one who dwells with the eye faculty uncontrolled, the ear faculty uncontrolled, the nasal faculty uncontrolled, the tongue faculty uncontrolled, the bodily faculty uncontrolled, the mind faculty uncontrollable. These are called taints to be abandoned by controlling. What taints, bhikkhus, are to be abandoned by using? Here a bhikkhu, contemplating wisely, wears a robe only for protection from cold, from heat, from contact with flies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, and creeping things, and only for the purpose of covering private parts of the body. Contemplating wisely, he uses alms food not for pleasure, not for drunkenness, not for physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuity of this body, for ending discomfort, and for the support of the holy life, considering, thus I will put an end to previous feelings without giving rise to new feelings, and I will be healthy and flawless and be able to live comfortably. Contemplating wisely, he uses the dwelling only for protection from cold, from heat, from contact with flies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, and creeping things, and aims only to fend off the dangers of the climate and to enjoy the practice. Contemplating wisely, he uses medicine only for protection from emerging diseases and for the sake of health. Stains, distractions, and agitations arise in a person who does not use such things of need. On the other hand, no taints, distractions, and agitations arise in one who uses such things of need. These are called smudges that must be left behind by using. What taints, monks, are to be abandoned by enduring? Here a monk, contemplating wisely, endures cold and heat, hunger and thirst, contact with flies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, and creeping things, He endures harsh and unkind words, and bodily feelings that arise which are painful, excruciating, sharp, piercing, unpleasant, distressing, and life-threatening. Stains, disturbances, and agitation arise in one who does not endure them. Conversely, no taints, disturbances, and agitations arise in one who endures them. These are called taints which must be left by enduring. What taints, bhikkhus, are to be abandoned by avoiding? Here a bhikkhu, contemplating wisely, avoids wild elephants, wild horses, wild cows, wild dogs, snakes, tree stumps, thorn bushes, ravines, gorges, outhouses, and sewers. Reflecting wisely, he abstains from sitting in unsuitable places, from traveling to unsuitable places, and from associating with unwholesome friends, for if he does so, wise friends in the holy life will suspect him of bad conduct. Stains, disturbances, and agitation arise in one who does not avoid them. On the contrary, no taints, disturbances, and agitations arise in one who avoids them. These are called taints to be abandoned by avoiding. What taints, bhikkhus, are to be abandoned by eliminating? Here a bhikkhu, contemplating wisely, not tolerating thoughts of sensual desire that arise, hostile thoughts that arise, cruel thoughts that arise, and evil unwholesome states, he abandons it, eliminates it, expels it, and exterminates it. While taints, disturbances, and agitation arise in one who does not eliminate these thoughts, on the other hand no taints, disturbances, and agitations arise in one who eliminates them. These are called taints which have to be left by eliminating. What taints, bhikkhus, are to be abandoned by developing? Here a bhikkhu, contemplating wisely, develops the enlightenment factor of mindfulness, develops the enlightenment factor of investigation of states, develops the enlightenment factor of energy, develops the enlightenment factor of rapture, develops the enlightenment factor of serenity, develops the enlightenment factor of concentration, and develops the enlightenment factor of equanimity, supported by seclusion, dispassion, and cessation, and ripens in renunciation. Stains, disturbances, and agitation arise in one who does not develop the enlightenment factors. On the other hand, no taints, disturbances, and agitations arise in one who cultivates them. These are called taints which have to be abandoned by developing.
Conclusion.
Bhikkhus. When the taints by a bhikkhu have been abandoned by seeing, by controlling, by using, by restraining, by avoiding, by eliminating, and by being abandoned by developing, then he is called a bhikkhu who abides restrained by the restraint of all taints. He has cut through craving, let go of the fetters, and by completely breaking through conceit, he has realized the end of suffering.
That is what the Blessed One said. The bhikkhus were satisfied and delighted at the Lord's words. So this video, hopefully useful to those of you who watch this video. Thank you very much. See you again in another video on this channel, on YouTube. May you be healthy, live a long life, be happy, have lots of luck, love to do good, and are eager to live life with a peaceful and peaceful heart.
What's it look like? Read up the sky over the desert tonight. People running for cover, don't tell feel more alive. They're here with their tang and their planes, with ravaging fiery flames, and nothing remains, just a voice rising up in the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn down our mouths and our homes and our school, but our spirits will never die. We will not go down in Gaza tonight, in Berlin tonight. Women and children alive, murdered and massacred night after night, while the so-called leaders of countries apart debated on who's wrong or right. But if all is worth waiting in pain, and the world feels like it should rain, but through the tears and the birds and the pain, you can still hear the voice through the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn down our mouths and our homes and our school, but our spirit will never die. We will not go down in the night without a fight. We will now go down in Palu tonight. Oke, yang tahu lagunya ada nggak? Ada yang tahu lagunya? Kita bisa nyanyi bareng-bareng. We will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn down our mouths and our homes and our school, but our spirit will never die. We will not go down in the night without a fight. We will now go down in Palu tonight. Oke, thank you teman-temannya udah ikutan.